All right, so we're going to be doing this Deba today. Got a bunch of knives in, but this is the one. So I'm going to do it in the style for Mike here. It's actually in very good condition. Yeah, it looks really good. So it should be pretty straightforward. The question at hand I'm having with Mike is like getting this bevel on the Deba. So we're going to do it my way, not the perfectionist way or the purist way. We're not going to do it the purist way. We're going to do it my way. All right, stand by. All right, so the first thing I'm actually going to do is use the belt sander, which is already, you know, blasphemous. Because you can see here the scratches that are vertical. And then you see some of the stuff that the guy was doing. And then you see some horizontal scratches too on there, on the surface. So right now I just want to make sure that I'm kind of flat. So I'm going to just, because the factory grind was done vertically, right? And in traditional Japanese, they do it this way. So we're gonna go make it more this way, just so I can hit the stones better. So that's the first thing a lot of these production knives, and this is a production knife, it's not really made vertically this way with the scratches, they're this way. Another thing, while I'm using the grinder, this is the clad steel. So this is soft here, and this is the hard steel down the edge here. So when I'm putting it down on the bevel, I wanna make sure I'm leaning it into the hard steel and not leaning back against the softer cladding, okay? That's a trick. And even when you're using the stones, the same deal. Okay, so I just took a quick pass on that. And you can see the fresh marks are here on the soft steel. So I've got a little bit of work to do to get everything nice and rounded out again. So once this is established, it'll be a lot easier. Okay, so a little bit of manipulation here. You can see, they can really start to see actually with the shadows, the hard steel and the soft steel in there, right? The waviness there. But that is all the same. It's slightly rounded, slightly hamagori style, which is the rounding kind of thing, and that makes it easier to do. So, but here's your Kasumi start. If you want to do this and just work from here, you can. But we're going to do more. All right, so I've taken this on the Trizact just to kind of clean it up a bit. You see the scratches are still there, but they're a little finer now. And now we're going to take it to the stones. All right, I'm starting with a 220 Shapton Pro Stone, because that's what Mike has here. So I'm just gonna, I haven't done anything to the hollow side yet. I'm pretty sure that's in good condition. I'm just gonna create that Kasumi with the 240. Sorry, 220. So. There we go. Starting to see some contrast here. Again, just a few passes on that. We're basically just undoing the belt sanding, but Shaptons are going to create this line because they're just going to cut through everything. So you got the soft steel and the hard steel. Shaptons are just going to create this line. So what I'm doing is actually slightly convexing this. I'm starting off, I'm leaning back a little bit on the softer steel and then kind of tilting it forward to get to the hard steel, just to make a nice curve to it. Slight. I'm slightly rolling it up until I hit the hard steel. You can feel the difference. And rolling it back down, and then flat, leaning back a touch, just to meld it all together. Actually not bad. I gotta do some more at the tip. You can see I'm missing some here. Difference here. There we go. See that right up the top here. So just more, this is more aesthetic than anything, but you got to do it. All right. There we got it. So nice clean on that. Now I just got to make sure I got the whole edge here. So we're going to turn it up just a hair to get to that hard steel. The guy that sharpened this before is not my knife, so his stone is dished. I know it because it just is. So we're just going to give it a slight bevel on there and then meld it back in to everything else. Bring it back all together. So I got a lot of these are just tricks and stuff that you got to do. Nothing's ever flat, guys. I don't care what these purists say. Nothing's ever flat. But it looks flat. That's the key. Now I'm going to do the hollow ground side here, which from the looks of it before, it looks like it was pretty well kept. So I'm not too concerned yet. Oftentimes the tip will be slightly bent to a degree. Actually, this is a really good condition. Let me just do one more pass here. It's already kind of there. So this is really well done. Whoever did this before me, he's maintaining it himself. He's doing a really good job. All right, so the back is now looking good. And you can see here the line along the bevel is well established. And I've got the burr flipping over, so we're all there. Everything's good here. So off the 220, this is what we've got. This is good, right? That's what we want. So now is where the fun starts. All right, so now we're going to use the 1000 Shapton. Again, this is what Mike's using. This is where the problems are going to begin, because the Shapton cuts through the soft steel and the hard steel evenly, and that's where you start to get some streaking. This is the problem with if there's one problem with Shaptons, this is it. Other than that, there's really no problems with Shaptons, to be honest. But this is the one problem that Shaptons have, that they're too good in this case for this kind of differential steel sharpening. If you had a mono steel, no problem. But because it's going to do that, it's going to streak more. So I'm going to start with the flat side, the hollow side, sorry. And because that's already good to go, so we're just going to establish that, because that is good for this stone. Because a hard flat stone will be good for this. So I've been going perpendicular to the stone right now on the back side, and that's okay. But what that does is it just limits the. You're going to end up with deeper scratches from corners and stuff. So what I'm going to start doing is kind of sweeping more. I'm going to start going more askew. That's going to meld everything together, make it flatter, and thus sharper and better. So that's the next step on this one. So instead of just forward and backwards straight this way, because you can put too much concentration in one area, we're going to just make it like a stroke this way. All right, so I've done this now. I've made that a skewed angle, and now everything's really lining up. But you can see right here on the spine, I've got a little bit that I've missed, and that's okay because that's on the back part. The front part is still, try to get that. The front part's all good. It's not uncommon for the back part to have this little bit of a wonkiness to it on a lot of knives, again, for whatever reason. So the fact that it's on the spine, it's okay. We could work it out a little bit, but basically as long as it's hitting the edge, we're good. But I will clean it up. And for that, I'm just basically turning the knife back, just to hit that back portion so it matches. I still got a little bit of it right there, but basically this is just tricks, guys. You know, the purists will kill me for doing that. How dare you sharpen something, but you know what? It looks good, so shut up. Respectfully. Yeah, there we go. All right, so now the 1K stone still, we're going to do the bevel side, and this is where it's going to get a little tricky. So we'll see what it does. So there's a streak here already. I just did one angle, so that's the thing with the shaft. It's going to just do like one line, and we're on a radius. So I'm not sure if it's coming through, but do a little bit more on it. See what we get. All right, now I'm a good sharpener, guys, but I'm getting streaks. This is a weakness of the Shapton 1K. All right, it's just going to streak. There's no way around it. You can be as good as you want because you're not building a mud. That's really what it is. You're not building a paste. So you can see I have very distinctive lines, but you can see the waves in there. There's like three, you know, darker sections in there. So it's not me. It's the fact that the stone and the steel are not combining to create that paste, which would then just kind of massage everything. I'm just sharpening everything. So it's sharp. It's getting there. And it'll get shiny at the hard steel, but the soft steel, it's not combining in a way that will make it aesthetically pleasing. It's going to just keep streaking. All right, so I am going to use the 5000 Shapton again on the back side of these knives. the hollow ground Yanagis and Debas, they're really good for this because they're strong and they're flat. So I'm going to polish the backside here. We'll start off with this stroke here just to remove that burr that's built up. And we're going to come askew, just like we did on the 1000. Still got a little bit to go, but now that shine's coming out. Still got a little bit back here on the spine from before to do, but everything else is really shining up again really well. So we got that nice mirror going now. That's good. Good. So just for fun, I'm going to try doing the bevel on this. I'll show you what I mean about the blurred finish that we're going to get. And yeah, you could put in the other Shapton stones in between, but this is basically what's going to happen either way. The hard steel will get shiny. The soft steel will get blurry shiny. Again, streaking. See all that streaking? It really comes out on the 5K. But the shaft is actually cut and everything. So here's, we're going to switch back. All right, so I've got the Naniwa chocolate bar 1K. You can use a King 1K, Naniwa 1K, 800, 1200. Basically, you want a brown stone. Suhiro has one. So basically, a brown stone, it's an Aodo style stone. And this is what you want for that contrast finishing. Again, we did the more Kasumi with the belts, but this is now going to be more of a matte finish rather than that shine that we got, the hazy streaking that we got from the harder stone. So this is going to give a lot more. It's going to interact with the soft steel and create this paste that's going to burnish and make everything nicer. So we're starting with a softer steel because that's what mixes with everything. It starts to get your little paste, and leaning into the harder steel. There we go. Now we're catching. Hear that? Now we're rubbing into that. Not the stones clanging, but the scratchiness. Now we're hitting that steel. Soft steel makes this sound. So we're starting to even that out a bit. Still some dark and light patches, but you're going to get this contrast between the hard and soft steels. Again, 1000's a bit much. It does a little bit too good sometimes. But if you want the Kasumi, you want more scratchy. This is more just a contrast finish, what I think. So we'll get that darkened up, darker, duller gray, and the shinier gray is the hard steel. So this is why the 1K, these traditional stones, we may frown upon them, but for this kind of sharpening, it really brings out the aesthetic. It's really good for aesthetic sharpening. So just do a little bit more, make it prettier. So there's still a little bit of streaking in there, but it's definitely better. We'll do a little bit longer, we just got to get more paste built up. Another way you can do that is also lap the stone a little bit. You can lap the stone a little bit, get a little bit of slurry going. That doesn't hurt. That'll help. All right. So it looks pretty good there. So now we got the nice contrast finish. So what we're going to do now is cheat a little bit. We finished on 5K back here. Going to come back to the 5K stone, and I'm going to raise it just a little bit. I like to bring out the bling in the edge here. You don't have to. It's sharp. I've got a burr on this side, so we can just wipe it off on the 1K. But that, you know, we already sharpened half of it the 5K. So let's go. All right, so I've got my 5K back. Now on this one, I'm not worried about the bevel. I'm going to do something blasphemous again. I've got my flat bevel here. I'm going to raise it ever so slightly just off that stuff and just hit the hard steel. All right, this is tricky because you got to hold it. So I'm just going to raise it up to the edge angle. I'm only hitting the hard steel. I don't want to hit this cladding. And what that does is make the contrast just pop. But it just brings out, come out, brings out that shine. You'll see it when it dries better. But I'm just bringing that out, keeping that line the same. I'm not really trying to hit the back end here, but I'm just trying to hit that waviness and just make that shine. I want to pop it. That's just aesthetic. It's my thing. It's my thing. It's just really starting to contrast that. So you got the matte gray finish here, and then you got that bling right at the edge here. So we'll just wipe off the burr. And this knife's done. All right, so we're back. See the bling on that now. And you can do more on the 1K stone than I did. I didn't really get a nice amount of a little errant scratch right there that we got to work out. But you can see how the hard steel really pops. That really shines there. It's too sunny today. There we go. So you can do more with that 1K stone. I probably should get more of a paste going and do it. But for this video purpose, I think we're okay. And it's better than when it started.